legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased of a sister of a race. It's the strength of me, it's the strength, it's the legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased of a sister of a race.
Mile in my shoes, listen to my blues. I stand before you, resilient.
Hello everyone, I am Levi Perrin, another episode of Instagram Live with Unerased Black Women Speak. Today I am joined by, Barbara Engelskirchen, and I'm super excited for this conversation. A few weeks ago when the team was brainstorming what we should do, we realized that tonight's scheduled live happens on Cinco de Mayo, and I thought that this would be a really cool time to uplift some Mexican artists and then also talk about what even is Cinco de Mayo. So I'm joined tonight with, as I mentioned, Barbara, who is at the National Museum of Mexican Art in Chicago, and she is the Chief Development Officer. Barbara, how are you? How are you doing today?
I am fine today. It's a rainy day in Chicago, but it's spring, so it's the typical unexpected weather here. But it is Cinco de Mayo. I'm sure a lot of people will be out and about. And I would love to talk to people about what Cinco de Mayo is and what Cinco de Mayo is not.
Well, you queued that up perfectly because my first question is, what even is Cinco de Mayo?
Well, literally, the translation is the 5th of May. So that's an easy one. Let's start there. But I can tell you that it's the commemoration of the Battle of Puebla. And Puebla is a city a couple hours outside of Mexico City. And on the 5th of May in 1862, a ragtag group of Mexican fighters beat a much larger and better equipped army of the French. And so it's one battle that happened, one of many, but it's known because it was a small group of Mexicanos that beat the French army. And a lot of people, it's a minor holiday in Mexico. So you might have, I don't think you even have Cinco de Mayo off as a holiday. I think you have to work, but it's not Mexican Independence Day. That's in September.
Which so many people think it is.
Right. It's become a little bit like St. Patrick's Day as a drinking holiday, but I do appreciate when people are aware of what the date actually is. And we, in the National Museum of Mexican Art, in our main gallery, Nuestras Historias, Stories of Mexican Identity from the Permanent Collection, we have a painting that commemorates that battle. So if any of your viewers are in Chicago, they can come and see it.
Perfect. Speaking of some of the art and things that you all are involved with, can you tell me a bit about the Sor Juana Festival that's happening, I believe, this month or coming up in June?
It is. It's happening. It's already started. So we kicked it off with a few events celebrating Selena. And those were a whole lot of fun. But it starts in earnest next week and will go through the month of May. I've got here's our little Sor Juana brochure. But the Sor Juana Festival commemorates or celebrates women, mostly women artists from both sides of the border, from Mexico and the United States. And it's named for a 17th century nun named Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz. And if you're interested in learning more about her, there are movies and Netflix series about her. But she was a nun, in Mexico, in colonial Mexico, in a time when women didn't have the opportunity to do anything except for cook, clean, and have children. And she knew that in order to continue to be able to learn and read and write, she was an excellent writer, she would have to enter a monastery or a nunnery. Mm-hmm. So she became a nun. But
can you tell me?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you're fine.
We have a whole host of performances. We have live music that's performed here at the museum. We have lectures that talk about, we've got a great group of female architects who are coming together as a panel to talk here at the museum. They're talking about the fact that, that they are, as women, first of all, and as Latino or Mexican American women, they tend to be invisible in the field of architecture. So they'll talk a lot about that, about their experiences there. And there's a whole lot of great stuff. We've got coming a woman named Rocio Banqueros, who's coming on May 14th. She is pretty popular in Mexico. She sings a whole range of things and will be just really entertaining, fun for listening, dancing, etc. For the young folks, we've got two women, Audrey Funk and Renee Gaust, who are coming. I think that's this Saturday, the 7th. So they've got a range of musical styles that they play, from hip hop, funk, more kind of folk as well. And it's, again, another music opportunity to dance and have fun. And we've been experiencing, I don't know about you all, but we've been experiencing a really high enthusiasm for opportunities to get out and about and see people again.
Yeah, no, I'm experiencing the exact same thing. I'm based in the Washington, D.C. area, and I think everybody is just ready to get back around each other again.
Definitely, definitely. And if I don't want to change the subject away from Sor Juana, but we also have, if you're in the Chicago area, we have an exhibition that is called Frida Kahlo, Her Photos. That is a collection of Frida Kahlo's photos that she collected while she was living. And there are over 200 of them that belong to her.
Oh, wow.
They were, well, they found 600 of the photos, and they've been curated into a smaller group of a little bit over 200. They were stored away, believe it or not, in the bathroom in her house in Coyoacan, Mexico. So when she died, it was stipulated that anything that was stored away in that bathroom would be closed off and hidden away, archived for 50 years. And after that 50 years, they opened all of these things, found these hundreds and hundreds of photographs, found some of her clothing, her shoes, her jewelry, and those things have been made into exhibitions. And one of those exhibitions is here. And it tells the story of this woman's life, who I think she had a little bit of a rough life, but she was also really, really creative, and just her body of work is incredible, and her life is just fascinating.
She's one of those people that no matter how much I learn about her, it's like no matter how much I learn about her, I'm never like cease to be amazed. Like,
exactly.
And I believe you're doing a free virtual tour of the exhibit as well, right?
That I believe is, unfortunately, I think that we have had to cancel that virtual tour. But
okay.
we do have, yes, unfortunately, and we do have some other virtual tours in the works. So we've got one scheduled mural tour, virtual mural tour scheduled for May 14th. There will be two of them. One is at 10 o'clock, and that one's in English, and then one is at noon, and that one's in Spanish. And if you have ever been to the museum, you know the National Museum of Mexican Art is located in a neighborhood called Pilsen. That's on the south side of Chicago, and there are a ton of murals in this neighborhood. Murals created by all sorts of artists, emerging artists, professional artists, amateur artists, and some of our staff give a tour of that mural tour, those murals virtually. That's a great way to, even if you're not in Chicago, to come and interact with us. But I would have to say, if you're in Chicago or nearby, or gonna make it before August 7th, take a road trip, you should come and visit Frida Kahlo, Her Photos. We've got a second exhibition that is inspired by Frida Kahlo here at the museum that's open through January. That's called Surrounding Frida. It's works from our permanent collection that were inspired by her, and or created by works that from her students, people who studied with her, learned how to make art with her. And we've got some great stuff in there. We also have, who, I don't know, you have to know Sandra Cisneros, the author of The House on Mango Street. In that exhibition, we have the outfit that Sandra Cisneros wore when she received the Medal of Arts from Barack Obama.
Oh,
She's
wow.
someone,
Okay.
she's someone who wore, Sandra Cisneros, who wears traditional indigenous Mexican outfits for special occasions. And this is one of those outfits, a handmade outfit that she wore when she received that award from Barack Obama. And she donated it to the National Museum of Mexican Art. And so we've got that on display. So it's a great exhibition. It's got works of many women artists like Esther Hernandez, who is an artist from the West Coast, whose work we have a lot in our collection. Someone whose parents worked in the basically as agricultural workers when she was growing up, had an impact on what she does. She paints in her work. So we've got some work of hers in that exhibition as well. We're an organization that has really regular conversations about the balance of artists that we display here at the museum, visual artists as well as performing arts. Since we've got a good strong percentage of women on staff, those voices are definitely heard. And I think that one of the things that makes us special as a museum is that we are what we call a first voice institution. So we have a predominantly Mexican American staff. And so the work we do around Mexican art is truly from that voice, from that perspective, unfiltered, in spite of the fact that, or supported by the fact that that point of view is multifaceted. We represent people who are first generation to people who've been here in the United States, second, third generation, like myself. So it's a really unique and wonderful place. And if you haven't been here, I would encourage it.
Yeah, I absolutely love hearing about all of the things you're doing and everything that I was able to find online. And I'm excited to try to get myself to Chicago soon.
Please do. We also have right now where I'm in an area called the Courtyard, and we're on display. We have art from by youth artists. So I'll try to show you a little bit about that art right now. So I was sitting in this seat, which is a selfie station. And that was inspired by a photo of Frida Kahlo. So guests who come here can sit on the bench and take selfies.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And now I'm standing in front of a series of photographs that were taken by our youth artists. And we've got a program called Yollocalli Arts Reach. And these students take classes mostly after school or during the summer. And they have the opportunity to work with professional artists and develop their own work. So it's a wonderful program. It's located in a neighborhood called the Little Village, which is south and west of here. It's a neighborhood that is, it has a large percentage of recent immigrants from Mexico, somewhat lower income, and it's an area that really has a lot of needs. So we want to make sure that we're there to provide the students there with opportunities to learn and express themselves through the arts.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Here's some.
Oh yeah, these are gorgeous.
This one is one of my favorites. It's a little bit of an Ophelia kind of photo. but they're tremendous students. They do radio shows. I'm going to walk over to the radio screen over here. Okay. So they're both English dominant and Spanish dominant youth who develop a beat or a story that they want to develop. They research it, they schedule the interviews, and then those interviews are broadcast mostly through the internet. So it's an excellent program.
Yeah, it's super creative, and I love that they get to do so many different things to express themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So the museum is open from Tuesday through Sunday every day from 10 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And then on Wednesdays during the Frida Kahlo exhibition, which closes on August 7th, we're also open late on Wednesdays. We're open until 8 o'clock on Wednesdays.
8 o'clock, okay. Well, great. I think that was perfect. If you want to learn more, then you have to get yourself to Chicago or join some of these virtual tours.
Definitely visit our website, nationalmuseumofmexicanart.org. And if for those of you who have young ones, we have videos of art classes, workshops that you can do with young children. It's a really great way to learn about Mexican art and culture. We are a really big part of this country, and if you live with and work with and play with Mexicans and Mexican Americans, so it's important to learn about our art and culture.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Barbara.
Thank you for having us, or having me.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We'll be back 2 weeks from tonight on May 19th. We'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye.